For over 50 years, the Zodiac Killer has remained one of the most infamous unsolved cases in history. What dark secrets lie behind his cryptic messages? We dive deep into one of the most chilling and perplexing unsolved cases in criminal history, the Zodiac Killer. This elusive murderer, known for taunting the police with cryptic letters and codes, terrorized the Bay Area in the late 1960s and early 1970s, leaving behind a trail of unanswered questions. Despite numerous theories and suspects over the years, the true identity of the Zodiac remains a mystery to this day. But is there new evidence that might finally crack the case? Before we dive into the details, make sure to hit subscribe to our YouTube channel Court Capture and ring the bell so you don't miss any of our in-depth investigations into history's greatest mysteries, the first murders. December 20th, 1968. On a cold night in Benicia, California, resident Stella Borges was driving along a dark stretch of Lake Herman Road at 11 p.m. As she rounded a bend, she came upon a shocking sight: two lifeless bodies lying on the ground. Terrified but cautious, Stella quickly drove away to alert the police. When authorities arrived, they identified the victims as Betty Lou Jensen, a 16-year-old, and David Faraday, a 17-year-old. The pair, who had been on their first date, were brutally killed. David was shot once near his left ear, while Betty Lou was shot 5 times in the back, suggesting an execution-style killing. Detectives searched for clues but found no evidence of robbery or sexual assault, leaving them puzzled. The lack of motive led them to suspect a random act of violence. Despite their efforts, the case went cold for the next 7 months. A killer strikes again, July 4th, 1969. On Independence Day, the serenity of Blue Rock Springs Park in Vallejo, California was shattered. At 12:10 a.m., Vallejo police dispatcher Nancy Slover received a chilling phone call from a man speaking in a low monotone voice. He confessed to shooting 2 people in the park and claimed responsibility for the Lake Herman Road murders. When police arrived at Blue Rock Springs, they found Darlene Farron, 22, and Michael Mageau, 19, in a car, both suffering from gunshot wounds. Darlene was pronounced dead on arrival, but Michael survived despite severe injuries. Michael later described their attacker as a Caucasian male, around 30 years old, 5 feet 8 inches tall, 200 pounds, with short curly hair. He recounted how the man had shone a flashlight in their faces before opening fire. With 3 confirmed murders and nearly a 4th, it was clear: a serial killer was on the loose. The Zodiac reveals himself, July 31st, 1969. The killer's next move was to taunt the police and the public. 3 Bay Area newspapers, the San Francisco Chronicle, San Francisco Examiner, and Vallejo Times-Herald, received nearly identical letters. Each contained a cryptogram, which the killer demanded to be published on August 1st, threatening further violence if his demands were not met. Days later, another letter arrived at the San Francisco Examiner, introducing the chilling signature. "This is the Zodiac speaking." The Zodiac cryptograms contained strange coded messages, the first of which was solved by a Salinas couple. Using a technique called cribbing, they deciphered the chilling words, "I like killing people because it is so much fun." The subsequent ciphers proved much more complex, and for over 50 years, they remained unsolved. Modern breakthroughs in the Zodiac case: the 340-character cipher solved in 2020. In November 1969, the Zodiac sent a particularly complex cipher known as the 340-character cryptogram. It remained unsolved until 2020, when a team of expert code breakers used advanced software to crack the code. After months of running millions of possible symbol combinations, the team uncovered a disturbing message: "I hope you are having lots of fun trying to catch me. That wasn't me on the TV show. I am not afraid of the gas chamber because it will send me to paradise all the sooner." This breakthrough reignited interest in the Zodiac case, raising hopes that the remaining cryptograms might one day reveal the killer's identity. The Zodiac's name: the Z13 cipher. The Zodiac's shortest cipher, sent on April 20th, 1970, contained just 13 symbols. It began ominously with the words, "My name is," followed by the cryptogram. In 2020, Parisian engineer Faisal Ziraoui used custom-built software to decode the Z13. The result was the letters KAYR. While the translation seemed nonsensical, Zodiac experts noted the killer's history of deliberate misspellings. They speculated that Care could be a variation of the name K. A prime suspect emerges: Lawrence K. In 1973, Detective Harvey Hines of Escalon, California, began investigating a man named Lawrence K., also known as Lawrence Kane. Several key details made K a compelling suspect. Physical description: K closely matched eyewitness descriptions of the Zodiac. A Caucasian male, 5 feet 9 inches, around 160 pounds, with dark hair. Military background: in 1942, K was trained in electronics and cryptography cryptography at the Navy's Radio Materials School. This background would have equipped him with the skills needed to create the Zodiac ciphers. Proximity to victims. Kay lived just 2 blocks from the site where Zodiac victim Paul Stein, a cab driver, picked up his final fare. He was also known to frequent a cafe where victim Darlene Farron worked, reportedly harassing her to the point of fear. Witness identifications. Detective Hines collected testimonies from multiple witnesses linking Kay to the Zodiac. Brian Hartnell, a survivor of the Zodiac's Lake Berryessa attack, identified Kay's voice as the one he heard during the assault. Donald Fook, a San Francisco police officer, claimed Kay's mugshot bore the strongest resemblance to the man he saw near the scene of Paul Stein's murder. Pam Huckabee, Darlene Farron's sister, recognized Kay as someone who had repeatedly stalked her sister. Despite these identifications, the evidence remained circumstantial, handwriting and fingerprints. Detective Harvey Hines pursued Lawrence Kay as a potential suspect in the Zodiac Killer case, believing that his background and similarities to witness descriptions were too significant to ignore. Hines managed to convince authorities to collect Kay's handwriting samples and fingerprints for analysis. However, after comparing these samples to evidence from the Zodiac letters, the results were inconclusive. Despite the circumstantial evidence, there was not enough proof to formally charge Kay with the murders. Kay lived under suspicion for many years, but never faced charges for the infamous killings. In his later years, he changed his name to Lawrence Kane, possibly in an attempt to distance himself from the Zodiac case. He remained an enigmatic figure, with some continuing to suspect him, but no definitive link to the murders was ever established. Kay passed away in 2010, and the Zodiac Killer case remains one of the most chilling mysteries in criminal history. While various theories and suspects have emerged over the years, the identity of the Zodiac Killer continues to elude investigators, leaving many questions unanswered and fueling ongoing speculation. The legacy of the Zodiac Killer. The identity of the Zodiac Killer remains one of history's greatest mysteries. Despite decades of investigations, new leads, and breakthroughs in forensic technology, including advances in DNA analysis, the killer's true identity continues to elude law enforcement. The case has become a chilling reminder of how even the most infamous criminals can remain unidentified, leaving behind a legacy of fear, speculation, and unresolved questions. Over the years, the Zodiac taunted authorities with cryptic letters and ciphers, some of which have been solved, while others remain as baffling as ever. The killer's ability to stay hidden for so long has only deepened the intrigue surrounding the case, attracting the attention of both professional investigators and amateur enthusiasts who have spent countless hours trying to piece together the clues. As technology continues to advance, there is still hope that DNA evidence or the full decoding of the Zodiac's remaining ciphers could finally reveal the killer's identity. Until then, the mystery endures, continuing to haunt the public's imagination and remind us of the dark and unresolved chapters of criminal history. Will the truth ever emerge, or will the Zodiac Killer remain an enigma forever? Only time will tell. Thanks for watching history's greatest mysteries. The Zodiac Killer case continues to intrigue and puzzle us, but with breakthroughs, we may soon have answers. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to our YouTube channel Court Capture for more thrilling investigations. Until next time, keep questioning history and stay curious.